Good morning. This is the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show. My name's Dave Burney.
Excuse me, I'm Brent Apperson. Good morning.
We apologize for running late here this morning. Had some programming issues on KCNI in the 7 o'clock hour, put us behind. So we'll put that behind us and hope for a smoother day the rest of the day, because we got national tests going on today from the emergency alert system, which will be taking place later on today. We're going to test our generator today. So I don't know if we're getting off to a very good start, but we'll do our best to move forward. But we have the guy that will move us forward on the line right now with Burwell and Broken Bow Livestock. Drew Gaffney is back, and we are able to catch up with Drew today. Drew, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. You?
Well, we've had better starts in our day, but we're here. You just kind of have to roll with the punches every once in a while, I guess.
Well, if you ever worked with Todd Eberly, you'd understand what rough mornings are like.
Oh, Drew's back in prime form already,
He's
baby.
back. All right. Well, hey, the cattle prices are pretty darn good. How was your summer?
Boy, it was a good summer, and boy, we ran through a lot of weigh-up cows this summer, and that market just never did soften up, and it was, I really appreciate all the consigners for bringing them in, but yeah, that thing stayed great all summer long, and this fall looks like it's going to be a great time for the cow-calf guy to be in the driver's seat.
That's nice to hear, because it's not always that way, as anybody around the business knows, but it sure is nice to have a good run like this and kind of heal up from other times. And it's I imagine it makes a little bit more fun at the barns too.
Yeah, sure does. So yeah, I'll get right into it. I'll kind of give you a recap of what we did last week, because we had our first big fresh wean calf run of the fall, both in Broken Bow and Burwell, and had a nice run of weigh-ups there, and kind of give you a recap on what we did there. In the weigh-up market, we call that market high-yielding cows is 115 to 128, middle frame cows is 102 to 115. Those poorer, thinner cows is 95 to $1. Heiferettes was $1.23 to $1.52, and the bulls was running around $1 to $1.83. Called that market maybe about $5 lower than it was the previous 2 weeks. Then we got right into those calves and yearlings, both in Broken Bow and Burwell. I'll kind of give you a recap on some of the prices we got along there. In the steer market, and these are on fresh calves, fresh off the cow, not weaned. 445-pound steers at $325. Had some 420-pound steers at $367. Had some 305-pound steers at $318. Had some 614-pound steers at $301.5. Had some 537-pound steers at $312.50. Had some 570-pound steers at $290, and had some 606-pound steers at $302. Those are all fresh off the cow. In the heifer division, we had some heifer calves being weighing 353 at $312. Had some 471s at $287. Had some 563-pound heifers at $288, and had some 558-pound heifers fresh off the cow at $286. That's kind of how we operated there, both in Broken Bow and Burwell last week. This week, got 2 big days of weigh-up specials. Going to have weigh-up specials in both Broken Bow and Burwell. Dang sure be taking those cows on Wednesday afternoon if the guy wants to get those in this week in Broken Bow. Just a note of order, if something guys keep on the calendar, keep in the back of their mind. Next week, on October 12th, there will be no weigh-up sales. We're not going to take any weigh-ups in Broken Bow due to the fact that we're going to have 3,000 head of fresh wean calves and yearlings coming in on a big day on the 12th. And like I said, looking at about 3,000 head, and some of the nicest calves that ever walked the sand hills are going to be coming down and coming to Broken Bow on the 12th. So no weigh-ups on the 12th. If you got to get those weigh-ups sold, get them in this week or take them to Burwell next week. So no weigh-up sale on the 12th. If you got any questions, give me a call, 308-872-1105.
All right, Drew, thanks a lot. It's good to hear from you again, and look forward to your reports throughout this fall and winter season. Appreciate it.
Always a pleasure, gentlemen.
Say hi to Todd for us.
I sure will.
Take care. 744, Burwell, Broken Bow Livestock. Full steam ahead. Going to be a lot of fun to hear those reports from Drew each and every week, and look forward to that. Now, Trish is here, and we're going to say good morning to Trish. How you doing, Trish?
Good morning. How are you?
I like your turquoise shirt. Looks good on you. Now,
starting to get old.
The shirt?
Nice and warm.
Yeah, long sleeve. Yeah. We're going to play the game real quick.
Hey.
All right. And we could even force you to read school lunch menus, but I don't know. They're pretty tough right now with the different size of type. I don't know if I do that to you or
I'll
not.
listen.
Okay.
So where do you want to start? The game?
I don't care which do you want to do?
Well, I've got the game ready.
Okay,
You
let's
wanna
do the
that?
game. Let's do the
Okay,
game.
here we go. It is Pizza Month.
Okay.
So that's our topic. What is the most popular cheese? You got to have cheese on pizza, right?
Yes.
What is the most popular cheese used on pizza? Your choices are cheddar, mozzarella, Gouda, or hot pepper. What is the most popular cheese used on pizza? Cheddar, mozzarella, Gouda, or hot pepper? If you know, call us at 872-2801.
You're listening to the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show with Dave and Brent.
Ben is in a sticky situation.
I got so excited for my fresh-baked Runza cinnamon rolls that I forgot to grab a napkin.
Now you got cinnamon roll fingers, and they're so ooey.
And gooey. I can't grab a spoon to dig into my delicious homemade chili.
Maybe you should call for help?
Oh, I'll call my mom. Oh, I've ruined my phone.
Worth it, though. Come get Runza's homemade chili, fresh-baked cinnamon rolls, and a napkin today, because Runza makes it all better.
Remember, today is Pigs in a Blanket Day.
And we have Charlene on the line. Good morning, Charlene. How are you?
I'm doing good.
That's good to hear. Maybe we can make you a little better here. Here's Brent with the question.
Okay, Charlene, what is the most popular cheese used on pizza? Is it cheddar, mozzarella, Gouda, or hot pepper?
I would say mozzarella.
I would say you're right. And because you've answered correctly, we have a certificate that's going to get you a free pig in a blanket that they serve on Wednesday at Runza. So swing on in, and we'll have your certificate ready for you.
All righty. Thank you.
Thank you, Charlene. All right, 7:46. Apologize, Trish. We're running a little behind today. We had a little programming glitch earlier this morning, so...
I heard a little bit about that.
Yeah. Well, I'm afraid, unfortunately, it might be man-made.
Oh,
Yeah, maybe an unknown human factor.
Yeah.
just a minor detail.
I think it would be a lie to say we had technical difficulties. I think we had a boo-boo, which we didn't catch, so appreciate your folks' understanding out there. Prairie Pioneer Center today, if you would like to join them, they're having turkey gravy over biscuit, broccoli, and fruit. Call them at 872-6121. Let them know you'd like to come. Do that by 9 a.m. if you would.
All right, it's Wednesday, October 4th at Callaway today. Oh, here we go. Pizza at Callaway today.
With
mozzarella.
mozzarella, yeah.
I'm guessing.
What other kind of cheese do you use on pizza?
I don't know.
Just a blend,
It's
I guess.
interesting. I can't have pizza without cheese. However, I can't eat just a cheese pizza.
Oh, we do at our place a lot, yeah. Oliver and Joan like cheese pizzas. Pepperoni on them wouldn't hurt. But,
I've got to have something with the cheese. I don't know. Just me.
Ansley today, they're having Runzas.
Thetford Public School today. Pizza pockets.
Oh, boy.
Corn, Caesar salad, veggie fruit bar, and milk at Thetford today.
Sandhill School at Dunning, pig in a blanket, French fries, and corn.
Loup City Public Schools, taco or chicken fajitas on the menu at Loup City.
Sumner, Eddyville, Miller, and this again is a eye test. You'll see that.
That is tiny.
Yes, today they're having spaghetti.
All right, Gothenburg Public Schools today. Some of their choices include made fresh loaded hash browns with dinner roll, mozzarella Twiz sticks with marinara dipping sauce, fresh baked turkey and cheese sub, or made fresh buffalo ranch pizza on the menu at Gothenburg today.
At Litchfield, it's fajitas.
All right, Anselmo Myrna today. Made fresh loaded hash browns with dinner roll, mozzarella Twiz sticks with marinara dipping sauce. Some of the choices you'll find at Anselmo Myrna today.
Broken Bow Middle School, High School, let's see here. Fresh loaded hash browns with dinner roll, mozzarella twist sticks with dipping sauce. What kind of dipping sauce, Brent?
Marinara, I would guess.
Marinara, yeah, thank you. Marinara. I can say it if you say it first. Fresh baked combo sub, grilled chicken deli wrap, build your own hot dog station, vegetables, fruit, and milk.
My last one is from Kozad, and they're offering a choice of chicken patty with hot roll today or hamburger steak with hot roll. Some of the choices at Kozad.
Lasagna and breadstick featured at the Arnold Schools today. And Sargent Public Schools, lasagna or cheeseburger mac, corn, fruit salad, dinner roll, milk, and salad bar. Those are your school lunch menus for today. And as far as birthdays go, CBS had their own boo-boo.
Uh-oh.
All the birthdays they gave us yesterday.
We're really today.
Yeah, for really today. So we don't have to read those. We read them yesterday. I just noticed that this morning. I thought we read these yesterday, and I looked, and we did. So they sent them back out. I don't know what happened there. All right, Trish, now we can settle in and talk about whatever you want to talk about, and we have time to do it. So how's the curtain biz?
Good. Life is good. Went out. It was funny. Went out last Tuesday and ordered a vertical for a lady. Just got everything set up right at her house, ordered it, and it is in my shop. It was there yesterday.
Wow.
So a week.
1 week.
From ordering to, so hopefully I can get it put in for today or tomorrow.
Well, let's think back a couple of years ago.
No, let's not.
When everything was sitting on the dock somewhere, right? It has improved.
They were sitting somewhere.
Yeah,
Yes, not now. Boy, everything is just coming in like crazy, which is good.
That's very
I got
good.
like 6 deliveries yesterday.
That means
Yes,
you're busy,
my
too.
FedEx guy has a key.
Yeah, that's.
He just comes in and puts them in there, and
If it's the FedEx guy that I've met,
Yes.
it's in good hands.
he is.
He's a
He's
good guy.
amazing.
Yeah, he's a very good guy.
He is a good guy, and yeah, he said a long time ago when the outfitter closed down because they would take all my stuff. It was just convenient for him. And he goes, well, he said, if you want me to have a key, I'll just put stuff in the shop for you. And I'm like, here.
That's
Let's
fantastic.
just do that. So, yeah, it's been a great thing, you know, other than a sticker on the door every once in a while from another company. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, okay, just pick one of my neighbors. They'll take all my stuff.
Yeah, it's all a good neighborhood right in there.
It is a good neighborhood.
Yeah.
We're,
Well, if you're
blessed.
getting lots of shipments in, that means you have quite a few jobs out there to do. But I know you well enough to know you're a very good multitasker, so I'm sure you could use some more jobs.
Yes, absolutely. Actually went up to Brewster yesterday. Came back in the hail.
Oh,
which
you
was a
drove through the
little
storm.
little scary. So as I pulled out of Anselmo, because I stopped there, there's a new little, well, I don't know how new it is, a little coffee shop in that market up there. So went in there and got a latte and came back out, and the hail just started. So I looked down and I thought, I need gas. Pulled under that little canopy at the gas station. Great gas prices. And like, I'll just fill up and sit here for a minute.
That worked out good.
Yes.
Yeah, there was a lot of storms that rolled through
It was
as predicted yesterday.
pretty good hail out there. It didn't last real long. And
That's
they
good.
Just, you know, got smaller as the time went on. But the first ones that came down kind of scared me because I thought, ooh, I don't need to lose the windshield here.
Yeah, I know the guys covered a storm warning for Custer County in the 4 o'clock hour, and the rest of them were special weather statements all the way around the area except for Dawson Valley, and they did have some storm warnings over there, but it was moving so fast.
Yeah.
It didn't last long because it was
Thankfully,
going 50 miles an hour. So
It was crazy.
yeah, I'm glad you didn't get any damage.
So I just sat there and filled up my car.
Perfect timing. Perfect
Exactly.
timing. Speaking of timing, this is October
Yes, it
4th.
is. 4th.
And
Already there.
start counting the days to Thanksgiving. It's a little scary. And then we all know when Thanksgiving gets here, we blink and
Right,
they'll be talking Christmas before Thanksgiving. So we know that we may have some company coming. We might want to fix up the house a little bit. And
Absolutely.
so how much lead time do you need? I suppose it depends on the size of the job.
Yeah, it just, I never know. It's been crazy fast lately, which is an amazing thing. I don't know whether they're gearing up for the holidays and they've added more manufacturing people or what they're doing, but you know, some of it's made in Vegas, some of it's made in Illinois, but it's all made here in the U.S., which
Fantastic.
is good. Yes.
I know that's important to you.
It is important to me. I enjoy that knowing that, you know, that. But yeah, everything's coming in relatively quickly. I always tell people 2 to 3 weeks, and it's kind of fun to call them in a week and say, "Hey, your stuff's here."
Yeah, that
You know,
surprise
sometimes
doesn't.
they're ready, sometimes
Yeah.
not.
Yeah, the person at the house probably has to have their things in order too to
You
make
know,
this work.
Especially if they're painting or doing, you know, that kind of refresh kind of thing. So
Yeah.
and
Well, folks, if you're for the first time hearing Trish's voice, Designs of Distinction is known for lots of good things. One of those is coming in and assessing the cost, making a kind of a
just
estimate.
I bring the store to your door. How's that?
There you go.
Hey,
That's a good way to put it. And
I stole it from a friend of mine, but it's
it
good.
works. It works. And then, of course, I think we need to highlight a little bit more than we do. You know, you're not a type of person that will tell somebody what to do, but you do have lots of things, choices, colors, different kinds of products to fit the room, and you have the experience, so you can add that to the value of doing business with Trish too, because she won't tell you what color, but you might get an idea from her as to what might fit the best.
That kind of going in, and I just usually walk in with my notepad and my tape measure and start measuring where we're looking, you know, and then as I'm measuring, I'm thinking of what would work the best, and you know, and then find out what, you know, people, what they're thinking as well, and then try to go through the benefits and the not so great idea, you know, thing. And so, and then, you know, explaining different treatments and how sometimes how they even look from the outside of the house looking in. There are some treatments that you see all that mechanism in the backside, and you know, some people don't realize that whatever makes that shade work, especially on some of the fabric shades like the Roman shades from the outside looking toward the house, you see all of those rings and the mechanism, the cords that raise and lower those treatments. And there's really no way to hide those, you know, so they are part of it. And education, I like to educate people, especially when it comes to the cords and the kids, and, you know.
How important that is.
Yep, it is real important.
You're also very handy. I've seen you run your tools before and climb the ladder. And I don't think we can ever stress this enough. There's nothing worse than going to beautify a room and put holes in it that don't belong there. And then you try to cover them up and
or repaint, spackle them, repaint,
mismeasure, and it doesn't fit. All those sorts of things, folks, you don't have to worry about with Trish.
Because if I screw up a measurement, I order it back in.
Yeah,
that's my thing. So that's why I measure everything that I'm going to put up. That's just me.
Well,
so.
that's the way you are, and that's why you're so good at it.
And people are like, but we live 10 miles away. And I'm like, just went to Brewster.
Yeah, 10 miles isn't much for you.
I can do 10 miles.
Because you've been up in Burwell and North and every direction.
Alliance, did a little bit of work up there, which was funny. But, the only thing sometimes I think it's like, okay, is there a hardware store nearby? It's one thing to be out in the middle of, farmland and ranch land, but it's like just knowing there might be a hardware store close.
That would be good to know, wouldn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, because just like in any project, the one little screw you need, you might have...
Or drill bit.
You might have left there, or you didn't have it. Or
Yep.
Yeah.
I've learned that lesson. I've got tons of brand new drill bits everywhere.
Well, you do a great job, and folks, you can't go wrong because you get that value of having Tricia's experience, the know-how to install it and make it look great, and the expertise that you have over the years of making a room look great.
Yep, and mechanisms, sometimes things fail, and, it's just knowing that we can send them in and get them fixed if I can't fix them here in my shop. I have the capability of fixing a lot, but there are some things that I just need to send back. And, you have to pay shipping, but, and whatever parts might be needed, but and the labor on that end when they get it back is at no charge, so they fix it that way, and I just come out, pack it up, and ship it out. So.
Okay. And of course, the best way to find you is you might catch Tricia at the shop.
If you see the Suburban, I've only got the one now, so if you see it hanging around, it's I'm in there unless I walk to the bank. And just give me a call at 308-870-3677.
Designs of Distinction.
Yep.
Now, you write this down, Brent.
I'm writing this down.
We're going to
Okay.
have to charge Ron for this part.
Oh, sure. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Just
Just
charge him for a couple
just
minutes.
Couple minutes.
Okay, all right.
Not a big deal.
A live read?
Yeah, let's make it a live
Okay.
read.
All right. We'll give him a break.
Yeah.
All right.
Give him the extra special price.
Oh.
The friends and family deal. That one.
Okay, gotcha.
Ron Kitka's who we're talking about because you're working a little bit at Bow Family.
Family furniture. Yep, I am Mondays and Fridays right now. Throw in a Saturday every once in a while, but yeah, it's been fun. It's been great to be in there and see friends come in that you haven't seen for a while, and it's a busy little place. It's fun.
Yes, plus there's grandkids running around.
Yes, there's grandkids running around, and Amanda's in there, and get to visit with her, and yeah, it's been really good for me.
Yeah,
so
I bet it has.
I've really enjoyed it.
It truly is Bow Family.
Mm-hmm. It is.
It's a family business.
It's a neat family, and they're fun to get to know, and learning more and more about different things, and same thing. They service their products, so it's just kind of a great thing to we got great things in our neighborhood.
We do.
Yep.
Brent, go ahead and mark down another minute on that.
Add to it?
Because write down the part we said they are true. It is truly a family business. That should be extra.
Okay, all right.
That was a big plug.
Okay, got it.
Trish, thanks a lot.
Thanks.
Thanks for coming in. I always enjoy it.
Yep.
News is next right after these words.
Grazer's Bar and Grill in Arnold put themselves on the map with their excellent food and fun atmosphere, and they're adding even more. Follow them on Facebook to check out their weekly featured burger and salad specials. Plus, watch Husker football and volleyball on one of their huge big screen TVs this Friday and Saturday night. The Friday night special is clams and linguine, plus steak and Alfredo. And Saturday night, it's prime rib and shrimp buffet, plus clams and linguine again. Folks, trust me, grab your friends, head to Grazer's Bar and Grill in Arnold. It's where good friends meet.
October is one of our favorite months at Team Physical Therapy because it's National Physical Therapy Month. October is focused on promoting the benefits of physical therapy, the importance of movement in our everyday lives, and overall wellness. Team Physical Therapy offers many therapies to help. Stop by one of our locations in Broken Bow, Burwell, Callaway, Gothenburg, and Kearney, or call 872-5111. Here's to the month of celebrating physical therapy from Team Physical Therapy.
You are listening to the Get Up and
Go Breakfast Show. Go, go, go! On KCNI, KBBN, Broken Bow, Nebraska.
CBS News Brief. Picketing has begun at Kaiser Permanente hospitals across the country. 75,000 workers are expected to walk out, among them Damaris Reyes near San Francisco.
They have a lot of employees that are very knowledgeable with a lot of potential. And the fact that they don't want to invest and they don't want to bargain in good faith is very disappointing.
Lawmakers in the House are scrambling to figure out next moves after Speaker Kevin McCarthy was ousted by members of his own Republican Party. California's Doug LaMalfa was not among them.
On our side, the infighting is just really destructive. And for anybody that's a Republican, I don't blame you for being disgusted by what's going on here.
There's something new you can use a ride share for. CBS's Cammie McCormick has details.
Uber said today its drivers will collect up to 5 prepaid and sealed packages and drop them off at a local post office, UPS, or FedEx store.
CBS News Brief. I'm Deborah Rodriguez.
In Nebraska news, a Nebraska jockey is in critical condition after being trampled by his horse. He was flown to a trauma center in Lincoln, where doctors have been treating him for almost a week. 1011 Now spoke with Zachary Ziegler's wife on Tuesday, and she said right now all they can do is wait. Ziegler is still in critical condition, and so far he's making small improvements. He hasn't opened his eyes or spoken yet, but she said he is squeezing her hand and responding to some commands. On Saturday, Ziegler, who lives in Grand Island, was participating in a race at Columbus Ag Park. That's when his horse tripped on the hoof of a horse in front of them. Ziegler's partner, Carrie Robb, said Zach was thrown from the horse rolled over him and then stepped on Ziegler's neck. Robb said she and her 3 children were there when it happened. She said our kids also witnessed it. She said he was face down in the dirt. She had also said she grew up on a racetrack and had seen lots of these kinds of accidents and knew when he wasn't moving it probably was trouble. Ziegler did have a brain bleed after the crash, but that's been resolved. But now they know it's a long recovery ahead. Ziegler's family created a GoFundMe page for people to donate to his recovery and medical expenses. That's Nebraska News.
From the Fox Sports Studios in Los Angeles, here's Eddie Garcia.
Major League Baseball had 4 best-of-3 wildcard series get underway on Tuesday, with the Twins snapping a Major League record 18-game postseason losing skid with a 3-1 win over the Blue Jays. Royce Lewis, the hero for Minnesota, with a pair of home runs. He drove in all 3 of their runs as Minnesota gets its first playoff victory since 2004. For Toronto, they've now lost 5 straight playoff games. Rangers go on the road, beat the Rays 4-0 behind starting pitcher Jordan Montgomery's 7 shutout innings. Corey Seager had 2 hits, an RBI, and a run scored. Tampa Bay committed 4 errors. They've now lost 6 straight postseason games. And the Rays announced an attendance of 19,704. It's the lowest attendance for a baseball postseason game since the 1919 World Series. Phillies beat the Marlins 4-1 behind pitcher Zach Wheeler. 6 2/3 innings, allowed 1 run, 8 strikeouts. Diamondbacks fell behind early 3-0 on the road against Milwaukee, come back for a 6-3 victory.
Here's your weatherology forecast. Sunny for today. Highs top out near 70 degrees. Winds northwest, 5 to 15 miles per hour. Tonight, mostly clear. Lows drop to 47. Winds turn to the southwest, 5 to 10. Thursday becomes breezy, lots more sunshine, highs warm into the middle 60s. And then Thursday night, partly cloudy, chance for showers developing after midnight, and lows fall back to 37. From the Weatherology Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Phil Jensko.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how's the back pain now? 22.
Wonky work from home desks have Dane's Acupuncture booked up.
You need to get in, but this week's all full.
But finding more practitioners has them on pins and needles.
Okay. You know, my lunch is in 20 minutes. How fast can you get here?
Indeed can help them hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Instant Match instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
If you love them enough to listen to them practice the same song on tuba,
please be done.
Over and over and over and over and over, then surely you'll check NHTSA.gov/the right seat to make sure they're correctly buckled in the back seat.
Sounds good, honey.
Check today at NHTSA.gov/the right seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Currently 43 under a clear sky. Winds are now northwest, 3 to 5 miles per hour. Barometric pressure is on the downtrend at 30.03. Humidity at 91%. High yesterday was 74, but by 5 o'clock it was 61 degrees with that system that moved through, that cold front sweeping through and causing all the stormy weather yesterday. An overnight low of 42. Sunset today at 7:17. Sunrise tomorrow morning at 7:39. We did record 25 hundredths of an inch precipitation from the rain that occurred during the passing of those systems, and that brings us to 26 hundredths for the month here at the studios. But as you heard Trish mentioning, there was some hail reported and some heavier rains as the systems moved through, and there was lots of different things going on yesterday. But as I mentioned, I know you and Jeremy were covering the 4 o'clock storm warning.
3 o'clock.
3 o'clock, was it?
Uh-huh.
And ended at 4, I guess, or thereabouts.
Yep.
A little corner of Custer County and moved through. And I kept watching it because I was on weather duty, and it was just like those weather statements.
Yeah, for Custer County, now you go east and maybe southeast.
Yeah.
I know like around Ravenna there was a tornado warning.
Yes.
I don't know.
A couple different
ones.
ones.
I don't know what all came from that, but for Custer County it was just the one warning.
Right.
But there were, I guess you would then say, strong thunderstorms that rolled across other portions of the county. So.
And I hope too those the ones that they reported in the Ravenna area, there was also a couple other locations, and they now do these storm capable of producing a tornado. So you get a tornado warning with that. Hopefully that's all it was some possible rotation. But yeah, it was pretty unsettled, and the system was moving so much faster than usual. 50 miles an hour. Storm moving that fast with that cold front, anything could happen. So I'm hoping not too much did happen, but I know Sherman County, Valley County, Buffalo County, and then on beyond to the east were under the gun pretty quickly after we had the little warning here. So, yeah, and hopefully the strong thunderstorms that are bringing forward these special weather statements, you didn't get too much damage out of those.
Yeah.
It's kind of confusing.
Well, I think just watching it this year with the statements, it kind of seems like the mile per hour winds, I think, have a lot to do with whether it's what you said, a special weather statement, what they consider a strong thunderstorm or severe. And it kind of seems like 60 miles an hour is where they set the line. If you get to 60 and over, now it's severe, because I know on the special weather statements he'll usually say 40 or 50 mile an hour winds, which you think about that, those can do some damage too.
Oh, definitely.
And they usually talk about, possibility of smaller size hail with those strong thunderstorms. And then when it becomes severe, now the winds have picked up a little bit, and then the hail seems to be expected to be a little bit larger. So
right.
Whether it's, you have your warning, but when those weather statements come out, there's some stuff in there that can cause some damage too. So it's, I kind of prefer the old days where it's either a warning or it's not. So, but anyway.
It's not going to be that way, though.
No.
And I don't mind it so much. I just worry about people getting kind of brazen to it.
Sure, yeah.
That's my concern. Yeah. Been doing this long enough that you didn't have a tornado warning back when we did weather coverage until somebody saw it on the ground.
Right.
And
yeah.
then you had or one hanging out of the sky. Then you had a tornado warning. But now you have a tornado warning if there's rotation in the cloud.
Radar indicated.
Radar indicated.
Yeah.
Which is good because it could become a tornado, and they want you to know that's possible. What I worry about is they're going, well, there's another one of those possible rotations, and not worry about it. That's kind of the concern that comes out of that. But we don't have control over that, so we'll read what they send us.
There you go.
And I've been confused a couple of different times when the message comes and it says warning, and I go, oh, I better get out there. And then I punch it, and I figured out halfway out here it's a special weather statement.
Yes.
But it still says warning.
Yes.
And until you open it up, and then it says special weather statement. Then if sometimes when you open it up and it goes thunderstorm warning, then you need to be here.
There you go.
So yeah, pretty crazy, but it's all because they want to save as many lives as they can, and I hope that's what our efforts are doing to keep people from harm. We've had a lot of stormy weather this year in very spotty areas, and again, I hate to bring this up because it just seems like the Callaway area this year, this whole summer, spring and summer, has been a target for Mother Nature. She passes through there every time, no matter what. And a couple different times it wasn't good. Happened to drive over that way here a while back, and down there where Liana lives on the road. Well, they'll eventually bring you over to Rhino from that you come out of the east side of Callaway on that road towards Liana's place, and those folks that live out there, the corn just looks terrible. And I think they've got it more than once right in through there. The community itself, just about fair time. And there's been other communities in just spotty areas. Hail's that way, but just seems like a little bit more of that this year. So tell me a little bit about the Wednesday promotion at Chapin's. I love this promotion because it builds suspense, and then you find out that Lola's gone nuts.
Yes, that pretty well sums it up. I'm sure that all of you want to know what's for Wednesday at Chapin's Furniture and Square One Boutique. Well, just let me tell you. Today, Lola is having a warehouse sidewalk sale. Select fall and winter merchandise 50, that's 50, half off today. Today only. That's what's for Wednesday at Chapin's Furniture and Square One Boutique. Again, today, Lola having a warehouse sidewalk sale. Select fall winter merchandise 50% off. It's what's for Wednesday today at Chapin's Furniture and Square One Boutique, south side of the square in Broken Bow.
Harvest is here. Bruning Bank enables you to manage your finances from the field, combine, grain cart, or wherever you are with 24/7 access to your accounts. Check your balances with mobile banking, keep up with spending with at-a-glance account review, and enjoy the many uses and advantages of My Card. Learn more at bruningbank.com. Bruning Bank is extremely grateful for all the farmers and everyone who helps with harvest. Bruning Bank, member FDIC.
Aero Aviation is happy to have served the area since 1971, and they look forward to serving you for years to come. Their aircraft is equipped with the latest in GPS guidance and flow control technology, and they're always searching for the next big thing in aviation. Contact Casey and Melissa Williams at 872-5113 and talk to them about your fall pasture spraying. That's Aero Aviation, proud to serve Custer County and surrounding areas.
Make us part of your morning routine.
Just really great music, and you guys are fun and active and lively and just a good station.
Central Nebraska wakes up with Dave and Brent on The Breakfast Show.
8:17. I was unable to help with the weather yesterday when the storm came through and issued the warning because I was getting my COVID shot.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Got the booster?
This is just be the new one for this year.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Just like a flu shot.
I see.
So I got the shot.
Oh, no.
Side effects?
Yes, I know that you have mentioned the side effects of the COVID shot for you in the past.
Yikes.
Wow, feeling a little bit romantic today, are you?
Feeling very romantic, yes, even as early as yesterday evening, and I felt like chasing Joan around the kitchen.
Oh, wow.
But I tried to reserve myself from doing that. But still.
Did she go with you?
Yeah, she got
yesterday?
her flu shot.
Okay.
And I got a COVID shot.
Yeah.
And I found out.
Did you hold her hand?
No,
afterwards?
Not until I got in the car.
Oh, okay.
And then tried to get a smooch, and that didn't go over real well.
Oh.
So just remember, folks, when you get the COVID shot, if you decide to, you might feel a little romantic the next day or even that night. And it lasts for, a few days. So watch out, Joan. I'm feeling romantic.
Isn't it romantic?
I learned something yesterday, too.
What did you learn, Dave?
Well, if you get a pneumonia shot, which I did a week or so ago when I had my health check, when they asked me all those questions about my personal life.
Well,
then they said, you want a pneumonia shot? And I said, sure. Anything I can do to keep from getting sick, I'm up for it.
Yeah.
But then you can't get a flu shot for a certain amount of time.
Oh.
Yeah, so think about that if you're thinking about having some of those vaccines. There are some that you can have a COVID and flu together.
Mm-hmm.
But if you had a pneumonia shot, then you have to wait to get your flu shot. So I didn't get a flu shot yesterday. I was going to do both. But the COVID shot's a good thing, too, because I've had side effects from the flu shot and the COVID shot with romantic feelings. I probably wouldn't even come to work.
My goodness. Wow. So, folks, if you hear love songs start playing throughout the breakfast show today, you'll kind of know why.
That is exactly right.
Accounts for where you're at in life, call or stop by any NSB branch in Broken Bow, Myrna, or Callaway, and they'll be there. Nebraska State Bank, member FDIC.
You've got a friend.
Does the thought of turning 65 give you nightmares? It doesn't have to. Hi, this is Liana with Nebraska Owners Insurance Agency, and as an independent agent, I work with the major insurance companies that you're getting mail and phone advertising from. If you're feeling overwhelmed with the options, give me a call to set up an appointment. We will go through the Medicare process step by step, from signing up to enrolling in the necessary supplement and Part D drug plans. You don't have to do this alone. Nebraska Owners Insurance Agency is here to help. Call me at 836-2201 or stop in at the office in Callaway.
The Get Up and Go Breakfast Show.
It's the best start to my day.
All right, we have lots of things going on today, as we mentioned. A very important test will take place nationwide. The nationwide emergency test will be taking place, let's see, at 2:20 p.m. Eastern Time, 11:20 Pacific Time. So that puts us at a 1:20 Central Time, I believe it is, that you'll start hearing alarms and all sorts of different things on all sorts of different media. Probably you'll get a message on your phone. There's all sorts of ways they're going to reach out on this test. They've been working on this for a long time, and we're required to document everything, and we've already done, I think, 2 reports on this previous to this final nationwide event. So just expect that today on your media devices. And also the note here is about hi guys, if you have a hidden phone, you'll probably want to take care of that. The National Emergency Alert Test scheduled for today at 1:20 Central Time. Even if it's on silent, your phone may make a noise, vibrate, or read out the alert. If you have a second phone due to domestic violence, please remember to shut it off during the test because it will be activated, and probably do some forward calling. I'm not sure how all that works. So just be ready for that nationwide test today. That will take place at 1:20 p.m. Central Time on radio, television, all sorts of different medias, probably on your phones. And also, we are doing a test of our generator system today. We've been working on that. It wasn't really planned just specifically because we're doing the 1:20 test, but sometime in the 2 o'clock hour, we're going to be doing a testing of the generator and our battery backup systems. And I've been replacing the battery backup systems. I think I've got them all. Believe it or not, there's 24 UPS systems in this building.
Wow.
24.
I would not have guessed that.
Yeah, I think I found them all. I found them in Hardway because one Saturday I thought, hey, I think I'll check the generator. And I did, and we went off the air, and there was beeping everywhere, and there was UPSs I didn't even know we had. 24 of them. So today we've got them replaced. We're going to test that in the 2 o'clock hour. And since we've already accidentally been off the air today anyway, let's just get it over with.
Yeah, I'm with you, Dave.
Man, if I knew, I'd probably go borrow some money at the bank and get some more UPSs.
I was just going to say, you need a loan for any of this?
Well, that many. Yeah. That could be like, geez, $3,000 or more. I'm a little short on cash. Who would I talk to?
I don't know. Who would we talk to?
I'd go to Custer Federal first and see if they'd help us since we have our checking account there. Is your microphone going to... Go ahead.
Am I on?
Yeah.
That'd be a good place to start, Custer Federal.
You think that's a good idea?
I do.
What's Paul doing over there?
Paul is, well, first off, Paul's a Bernie. So it's kind of in his blood when it comes to radio and fixing things. And I think Paul's trying to fix the microphone at the moment.
It's a little wobbly.
Yeah. Be really careful. Those things do have a tendency to just come off the microphone stand.
If OSHA was in here, you'd
don't start on that.
I'll leave it alone now.
You sound fine.
Just be really careful, because if it does unexpectedly fall off, don't let it injure you.
Thank you.
Yeah, you could be harmed.
You'll know by the sound.
It'll be a very high voice.
Yikes!
Oh, gosh. So, Custer Federal is here, and Brent Amperson, I'm going to let you take over for a minute. I have a little maintenance to do over here myself. So,
okay.
And then I'd like to ask some personal questions.
All right, good. We look forward to those.
Scott, I hope.
Yeah.
Scott. Yeah, I'd like to get personal with Scott.
Yeah. Well, Paul Burney is here. Scott Peterson is here, representing Custer Federal State Bank. We're moving into the fall. I guess we're in the fall. So how are things going at the bank?
Everything's good.
Good.
Yeah.
Now, Scott, I think did you bring notes?
I did bring some notes.
Wow, that's impressive.
I know.
Man, you got to be proud of this guy.
He comes prepared.
Paul. Nice job.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just going to let you go through your notes so that we cover everything that you guys want to cover.
Well, this morning we kind of wanted to focus a little bit on the SBA, the Small Business Administration, and some of the guaranteed loan options that we can offer for small businesses in the area. Custer Federal is a preferred lender in what's called the SBA Express loan program. So basically that's loans for $500,000 or less. We can get a 50% SBA government guarantee on the loan. And the turnaround time is basically instantaneous once we have a complete application. So that's kind of...
I thought they raised that to $1 million.
Not for the express loans.
Okay.
For the SBA 7A program, up to $1 million, which we are not a delegated lender for the regular standard SBA program, but those loans, basically up to $1 million, all the fees have been waived out for the next year, through September of 2024. So they're kind of encouraging banks to use this SBA program to benefit some small businesses, help the economy in small towns, rural areas, that kind of thing.
I don't want to embarrass you.
Sure.
Oh, sure you do.
Go ahead.
But I think it's worth noting, correct me if I'm wrong here, but you basically have learned all of this, right? I mean, you kind of have branched off into representing Custer Federal with helping with the SBA loans and stuff, and they're just talk about that process, if you would, Scott, because man, there's a lot to learn, isn't there?
There is. So yeah, we kind of started this whole endeavor with guaranteed loans on the ag side with the Farm Service Agency, and we saw a need, especially in kind of our Kearney market, for some of these small businesses that were needing some financing. We have some guys working for us that have a little bit of experience in some of the guaranteed programs for commercial loans and small businesses. So that's kind of how we started, I guess, researching it a little bit, and we were able to help some customers that, maybe couldn't seek conventional financing with whether it be Custer Federal or really any bank. The terms they were needing didn't really fit that box for conventional lending. So this SBA program allows us to be a little more flexible with terms and collateral and some of those things that might not fit into that box for a conventional commercial loan. So that's kind of how we started exploring the SBA side. We started making a few loans, learning throughout that process as far as completing applications and submitting them to SBA for review and some of those kind of things. One of the benefits of the SBA Express loans is we can basically underwrite the loan with our typical bank standards and still utilize some of the terms of the SBA program without really submitting our underwriting to SBA. We've done enough of them that I think they trust that we're doing the right things and the right underwriting, that they've basically given us this preferred delegation to be able to approve some of these loans on our own. So,
well, when you think about the heartbeat of this area, it's small business related, right?
Yes, it is.
So that's a great program for the bank to be involved in.
And to kind of piggyback on Scott's comments a little bit, I think where it really fits and where you see a need for this type of guaranteed lending within the commercial sector with small businesses specifically is, a lot of businesses are getting to the point where they're maybe ready to transition. And part of the challenge in that for somebody looking to come into that business and buy it is you have intangible factors. You have brand, also known as blue sky, that comes with that business that is, from a bank standpoint, it's hard to capture that in a collateral analysis, right? Like that's a big value in a business because you have long-standing storefronts here in Broken Bow that people identify with and they have a brand, but the value's captured in that, right? But it's hard to, you can't kind of secure that. So that's where these SBA programs are advantageous, is because with a 50% guarantee, you're able to allow for that blue sky a little bit.
I hope this is a fair question, but I'm assuming there are parameters on what is a small business. Would that be fair? And I'm guessing you work with the business to talk about that.
Yeah, there are. SBA defines a small business. I don't have the numbers in front of me, but a fairly large business is still considered a small business by SBA standards.
Yeah.
I believe it's a certain number of employees, and there's some parameters there, but it's pretty substantial.
Yeah.
So most people that we work with would be considered a small business.
Okay. All right. Anything else, guys, regarding this that you wanted to visit about?
Just a little more on what Paul said about collateralizing the blue sky. We have relationships with people who do business evaluations and can basically look at, how long the person's owned the business, their reputation, some of those kind of things, and they basically value that blue sky for us, which is nice because we can use that as collateral for the loan, which is something that we typically don't do in conventional financing too. So.
Wow. Well, there you go, folks. These guys have all the answers for you. So if you're in business here in the area and this has piqued your interest, give Scott a call, and I'm sure you'll be willing to sit down and visit with folks.
Definitely.
It's great for startup businesses, businesses that are transitioning, businesses that are looking to expand. So it's not just one box that this fits into. It's pretty much all encompassing.
Yeah, good.
That was going to be my question, if that was also for startup businesses, and that's good. When you have a business starting from scratch, I mean, there's a lot of things to be discussed there. I think business plan probably is needed there.
Yeah, it's a requirement of the application.
Yeah, especially for a startup, business plan is really important. Some other things we maybe will visit with somebody on a startup with is as far as organization of the business, whether they're going to be a sole proprietor, maybe start an LLC. There's people, typically with a startup, it's kind of your banker, your attorney, and your accountant.
Right.
To kind of get things squared away. But those are all good places to start, or the bank's a great place to start, and we can kind of help people with some of that too. Going back to the startups, a lot of startup businesses don't have maybe the cash on hand or the collateral that would fit that. I keep saying conventional financing, but we can kind of work outside those parameters with the SBA program to help some of those startup businesses that maybe couldn't qualify for normal financing or traditional financing.
Well, guys, for existing businesses, if you're the business owner and you are going to sell, make that transition, you have the blue sky factor, and then you also have the factor as as a business person, it's a solid business, but you may not be that concerned about how much profit it's showing. And then when it comes time to sell, a buyer's going to want to know, well, I'd like to see a little more profit there. There's also Uncle Sam waiting at the end of the line to tax you on your profits. So I'm sure there's a lot of things that you have to discuss there to make the deal work.
Yeah, so it helps in those situations too to have both the tax return information and the QuickBooks information, so that you can get down to the detail on what's being put into each category, so to speak, because supplies can be a number of different things.
Yeah, that supply category does get used quite a bit.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm sure that, you think about we're going to have this to do, and this to do, but really the main thing is sit down and have these conversations and help people get through that. Some people may be reluctant to get a loan just because they're scared of the hoops that they have to jump through. That's what you guys are for, right?
That's exactly right. A lot of these SBA loans, there's maybe a little more paperwork and some additional underwriting that's required, but we handle most of that. Good communication is key. staying in touch with the lender, some of those kind of things help out a lot. But we're usually able to help, kind of guide the business owner in what we feel is the right direction.
Okay. Pretty fascinating once you get into it. I think there's a lot more to it than anybody could imagine. But having help is key, and Custer Federal State Bank's ready here in Broken Bow and Kearney.
Yep.
All right. Now, I, as you know, Paul, hate stirring up trouble. I don't enjoy it. I try to make sure everyone in the world is happy. But
yet here we go.
I know I have 3 football fans in here, Husker fans, and I just thought I'd love to hear the conversation about last week's game and what you're looking for the rest of the season. No, we don't have to spend a lot of time on it because Brent's already kind of expressed his view on what the next few games mean. But was the game last week something you expected? Just starting with the score? I'll start with you, Paul.
I guess my expectation going in was probably the outcome was going to be relatively the same, right? But the way that we got to that outcome was going to be different. Like I expected, because the defense had been so solid for the most part up to this point, I felt like it's going to be first half's going to be a bit of a grinder. It's going to be low scoring. Nebraska was going to be lucky to score points. Going into that, you're like, if they can get to 10, that's something surprising. So I figured it'd be close in the first half, and then they would just kind of wear us down in the second half, and that did not play out that way.
So it was a lot different. Scott, what was your thoughts?
After watching Nebraska for the last few years, nothing really surprises me. Yeah. So I was kind of anticipating the outcome to be about what it was. Mm-hmm. I was visiting with my old football coach, Mike Garner, the other day at the gas station, and we both said we were going home to watch the football game, and we said it's kind of hard to cheer for a Kearney Catholic quarterback because when I was in high school, we lost 2 years in a row to Kearney Catholic. So that's just kind of in the back of my head a little bit when I watch Nebraska play.
Can't get rid of that one.
It's still hard to get past stuff like that.
It is.
I hear you, man.
Still feel bad about that.
I hear you.
Yeah. We've talked about that before on the show about whether it's football or softball or baseball. Maybe that game where you had that error that caused you to lose the game. You think that goes away. It never goes away.
It doesn't. You hang on to those things.
Of course, you have the victories, too, that stick.
That's true.
Well, I think Brent was talking about how important the next stretch of games are. You want to talk about that, Brent, a little bit?
Well, my opinion is Nebraska's season is the next 4 games. Because on paper, wouldn't you guys agree, Illinois is not Michigan. No, Michigan State is not. Michigan, I think, truly is one of the top 5, if not top 3. Some will say they are the best team in college football, and maybe they are. I don't know. But these next 4 games, this is Nebraska's season. Would you agree with that?
Oh, I think if your goal is to get to a bowl game, then yes, for sure. And I think we all want to see that happen. I think the reality is that it may not. I think we have to be realistic about that. You're asking a team to go on a 4-game winning streak that hasn't happened here in 7-8 years, maybe.
Yeah. So my question then on that, is this: when will it happen then? If we don't expect a 4-game winning streak against these 4 teams, then when or will the change ever come?
I would ask this: what do you see on the offensive side of the ball that would tell you that we have the ability to go on a 4-game winning streak?
Ooh. It's getting hot in here.
Well, I guess my response to that would be the 4 defenses that you're going to face.
And that's fair. For me, I'm not spending my expectations so high. I'm trying to look this is, I don't want to be the spoiled fan,
No.
Oh, we're Nebraska, we should be in a bowl game. Well, our Nebraska has not been Nebraska-like for a long time, and so we've got to allow this process to play out Rule has been successful wherever he's been, aside from the NFL, which is a different monster in and of itself. I mean, he's built programs everywhere he's been. It's always taken time. I hate to see us run off another quality coach because we're impatient.
Oh, agreed. Yeah, but sooner or later, you have to be able. Don't you think that it's beyond physical for Nebraska? I mean, I think Matt Rule even talked about it in his press conference this week. It's like we have to change our mindset and believe that we can win. And so belief comes how in football? A belief to win comes from
winning.
There you go. So when will the winning start to create the belief? And I don't have the answer to that. But I think the next 4 games, I'm hopeful, might provide the answer. Yes, Dave Burney.
I think that, like in the game last week, if we would have scored when we got down on the 10-yard line early in the game and got down in the red zone again and scored, then that winning attitude gets underway. But as long as you're inept in scoring,
shooting yourself in the foot.
Exactly, Scott.
Yep.
I think you gotta succeed at some of those things to be a winner, and you can't go down on the 10 and then not even get a field goal out of it.
Well, listen, you guys, I'll be the first one to admit, when it comes to Brent's athletic background, Brent just wasn't very successful and quite frankly didn't play a lot in high school sports. You guys have more competition experience than I do. But sometimes the mental hurdle from losing to winning can be a big hurdle to overcome. Can it? And don't you feel that that's where the Nebraska football program not just is right now, but has been in the last, let's say, 5 years?
Yeah, I think I guess my opinion, we've lacked attention to detail to this point. I think we weren't very physical to this point. I mean, some of the things that Nebraska football was able to hang its hat on for 30 plus years. You know, whether you call it the Devaney way or the Osborne way, or, you know, that was kind of we had this blueprint and we went away from the blueprint. And it's been tough to get back to that. I feel like Pelini's probably undervalued. I mean,
I agree.
Whatever his sideline
100%.
antics are, they were. I didn't ever care. That didn't bother me. You had a son of a steel worker from Youngstown with Italian bloodlines. What did you expect on the sideline?
I do like how they do the interviews in the middle of the game now with the head coaches, and I can only imagine somebody trying to interview Pelini in the middle of a game, because it would just be...
That would be...
Well, the thing that I thought Pelini was undervalued in, they lost games.
Games.
They never lost the season.
No.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, there were tons of times during his tenure that they would lose a game, and you're like, oh man, we're not going to a bowl game. We're done. You know. And then they go on the road and win a game that you're like, oh wow. And the next thing you know, they've won at least 9. That was always impressive to me, how they would lose games, but somehow he would regroup the players. They never really lost the season when he was a head coach.
It seems like we always lost a game that we should have won and won a game that we maybe didn't have any business winning. But my issue with Pelini is we'd get in these Big Ten championships or big games, and we'd get embarrassed. I mean, I think it was Melvin Gordon ran for like 300 yards against us.
I think he's still running, actually.
When he was at Wisconsin in a Big Ten championship game.
Yeah. I'd take that in 9 and 10 win seasons.
Take that in a heartbeat.
And go back to a champ, you know. But that's all about culture. You know, Pelini had a culture, and if you listen to his former players talk about him, I mean, they would do about anything for him.
And I think Matt Rule, you can I hope this guy can win games, because man, just my opinion, he is impressive in everything else. I mean, to listen to his press conferences, man, he's impressive, I think.
I think he's a likable guy.
And he is, you can tell he is trying to build an identity. But like you said, Paul, it'll probably take time. I'm just hoping in the next 4 games that we see that it might happen quicker than we think. I'm hoping.
I don't disagree with you, Brent. Those next 4 games they're winnable games for sure. But I'm with Paul. I don't want to get my hopes up too much.
When you have a team, and granted the roster's turning over, but you still have a core group of kids that have been in the program and they've lost games in kind of some heartbreaking fashion. A lot of times it's been kind of self-induced, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I think the psychology of that is trying to, get past that expectation. I think Rule mentioned it maybe this week in the press conference about the Minnesota game. It was kind of like, well, we fumbled and this happened, and then you could see like the expectation was that, oh, we're going to lose this game. And so it's trying to defeat that psychology of, our back's against the wall, we're going to push through versus, oh, here we go again. And those kids are, go back to the greatest 3-win team of all time a few years ago, and they just lost that way over and over again. And so it's tough to stop that ball from rolling once it gets going.
Okay, guys. Did you write down that? We have to charge Brad at the Custer for this time on the football thing here.
Oh, okay. All right, right.
You open that can of worms. How does that work? I see how this is.
That's how it works here on the Breakfast Show.
All those backups. We got to pay for those backups.
Well, we just added 15 more minutes to our time.
Well, you gotta understand we have bills to pay.
Yeah.
Here.
As bankers, you realize we have overhead here.
Yeah. We're kind of changing our philosophy a little bit. We're building a new identity here at KCNI, KBBN.
Charge you as we please.
Changing your culture, I see.
Yeah, we are. Now, next time when we talk Big Red, maybe we'll do a whole nother show on the portal system. But we'll save that for another day.
Oh, my.
Because I don't get that one. That's just changed the whole ball game, and it's crazy. But we can talk about that next time. Is there anything else in the banking side other than that you welcome everybody through the door each and every day? You can drive through. You've got the cash right out there in the ATM. And, of course, you have both banks here in Kearney and Broken Bow. And I think the hours, what time you guys open?
Lobby's 8:30 to 4.
8:30 to 4 here in Broken Bow. Same down there?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
And we're online. We're mobile. We go anywhere.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm starting to look at my checking account with the computer. But if they change the password, you got to do another password.
That's for your own good.
I know.
Yep.
Yeah. But I'm going to tell you that I've been using. I'm not using it anymore, but I was just using this. This SU. No, I'm not going to.
Don't share your password with anybody, Dad.
Okay,
yeah, that'd be bad.
I won't. I don't use that one anymore. I started feeling guilty about using the one word in my password.
Is it password?
No, it was sucks.
Okay. Why'd you feel guilty about that?
Well, I just was expressing myself with my password.
I'm trying to stay on a positive mental frame of mind.
Yeah. Hey, thanks, guys. Custer Federal State Bank here in Broken Bow. Paul, good to see you again.
Good to see you.
Mom might be out to stay overnight tonight.
No, why?
Well, I got my COVID shot yesterday, and every time I get a COVID shot, the side effect is I feel very romantic. And I was thinking about chasing around the kitchen last night, but...
Are you going to leave some notes on the refrigerator or microwave for her? Those are always fun to walk into Dave and Jones' house, too.
Well, Jones' notes are much more romantic than mine, but
you draw little pictures on yours.
I have a picture. My favorite was a picture of a dog, and it went, I dig your bones.
Oh, it was classic.
Yeah.
I knew that's what it was going to be.
Oh, it was good.
Yeah. So,
oh wow,
Mom might be out. She probably don't want to put up with me tonight. Well, every time I get a COVID shot, I get the romantic.
I got a flu shot this morning, so
you did?
We'll see if.
Me too.
We'll see if that.
Do you get a COVID shot with like a little kicker? Do you ask for something extra in that thing?
Oh, it's time to move along here. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
We'll take a time out.
Prepare your lawn for the long winter by applying Winterizer fertilizer from Arrow Seed now. Winterizer fertilizer promotes rejuvenation and recovery from summer stress and builds a strong, healthy plant for better winter survival. Choose from the 16-pound bag that covers 5,000 square feet or the 50-pound professional grade controlled release formula that covers 15,000 square feet. By applying these highly effective Winterizer fertilizer formulas now, you are giving your lawn a healthy head start when spring arrives. Stop in to Arrow Seed in Broken Bow for your winter fertilizer today.
Lashley Land and Recreational Brokers is proud to be servicing the Custer County area, and currently land is moving at a high rate of speed. So if you are considering selling your land, now is the time, or get an opinion of what your land might be worth. Call me, John Farley, at 308-530-7854, or check me out at lashleyland.com.
The Food for Youth Challenge is underway, and our KCNI KBBN studios are a drop-off point. Last year's Food for Youth campaign collected over 5,500 snacks and meals for Custer County backpack programs and food pantries. With your help, we can beat that number this year. Through October 18th, bring canned food items, boxed food, peanut butter, or gift cards to our local grocery stores to our studios. Together, we'll fill those backpacks and food shelves so the youth in our area can avoid hunger.
For dessert, our family 48-ounce ice creams are $3.89. Gary Superfoods, happy to serve you in Broken Bow 7 days a week.
In the morning, you are awakened by the twitter of a little bird.
Now it's Dave and Brent.
I knew there was a reason I got out of bed this morning.
The Get Up and Go Breakfast Show on KCNI KBBN.
49 and sunny. It's 9:04. Brent Apperson has paperwork in his hand. I don't know, maybe he's going to apply for a small business loan. I'm not sure. Maybe just getting started.
Yeah, actually, I'm looking at what's showing at the movies.
Oh, you don't need a loan to go to the movies?
No, you don't, especially not here in Broken Bow,
Right.
because the price is so reasonable. And we thank the Fox Theater for making that possible, and also the great businesses around the area that support the Fox Theater to allow the ticket price to be so affordable for individuals and families. So here's what's showing at the Fox Theater for this week. We'll kind of look at things that are showing now and then look at what will be showing through the weekend into next week. The Blind, I believe this is a story about the Robertson family, maybe Phil Robertson in particular, with Duck Dynasty. And it is showing now at the Fox Theater, rated PG-13. Also, for the kids, Paw Patrol, the Mighty Movie. The new Paw Patrol movie is showing now at the Fox Theater in Broken Bow. It'll continue through this week, on into the weekend, and into next week as well. That's the case with both The Blind and Paw Patrol. Now, if you want to see Sylvester Stallone and the crew in Expendables 4, your chances are limited. It'll show tonight and then end its run tomorrow night. Expendables 4 showing for a couple of more nights at the Fox Theater in Broken Bow. And then a new movie starting on Friday. We're kind of getting into that Halloween season, you know. So it's A Haunting in Venice. Now, I think this is actually the mystery with the new one with, who's the Agatha Christie, I can never say his name. Poirot. Poirot? Poirot. He's the famous, like sleuth and detective. Agatha Christie, Murder on the Orient Express.
Yeah.
And, this is the new one, I believe, with Poirot, the detective. See, you have certain words that you can't say. I cannot say that guy's name. I don't know what the deal is, but I have always struggled with it.
I think once you get it out, it's right.
Yeah.
But I don't know for sure.
But anyway, A Haunting in Venice is going to start on Friday, and it will run through the weekend into next week at the Fox Theater. So 3 big movies for the weekend into next week. The Blind, Paw Patrol, and A Haunting in Venice will be showing this weekend into next week. Also, don't forget, later this month, I don't know do you know who Taylor Swift is?
Isn't that a mineral company? Isn't that a cattle mineral?
Yeah, I think she's like a singer or something. Rumor is I guess she's like, there's a rumor or something going around that she likes this some Kansas City football player. I think it's the tight end, the Kelsey guy.
Oh, yes, I've heard something about that.
Have you heard anything about that?
I have some information on that this morning again. If you want.
Bet you do. Well, anyway, this big movie event with Taylor Swift is coming out later this month. It's the Taylor Swift Eras Tour. It's like her in concert, and they're going to show this thing on the big screen. It's going to be a huge event, and the Fox Theater, ladies and gentlemen, has it coming to Broken Bow and Custer County. So it'll begin, I think, on October 13th is when it will start. So feel free to get your tickets ahead of time. You can do that through their website, which is watchthefox.com. Now, I think for these, this is a little bit more than the regular ticket price, because this is, it's like I think it's going to be like attending a concert for Taylor Swift. So the Taylor Swift Eras Tour coming to the Fox Theater in Broken Bow. Check that out. Be ready for that when it comes up later this month. And you can get your tickets online. You can always do that through watchthefox.com. It's a great website that keeps you up to date with what is showing and what will be coming up at the Fox Theater. And don't forget, every Tuesday night, it's free popcorn night brought to you by your friends at the Nebraska State Bank.
And I think Tanya mentioned, you can dress up when you come to the show. If you want to dress up like Taylor Swift or, like you're going to a concert.
Yeah, I think the goal is, even though it's in a movie theater, it's going to be like a concert. So feel free to act like you would if you were live at the concert.
Yeah. I think Tanya could look a lot like Taylor Swift. I think she might be slightly shorter than Taylor, but I think she would be able to dress up. I wouldn't be surprised if she doesn't do it for the opening.
Might.
The Nebraska Department of Transportation has a couple jobs open here for you in the Broken Bow and Oconto departments, and they also provide, if you're hired, training, career development, advancement opportunities, ample paid time off, a work-life balance, comprehensive benefits package that includes matching retirement contribution. And you apply online at statejobs.nebraska.gov. And that is the only way you can apply online. So let me give you that address again, statejobs.nebraska.gov. They are an equal opportunity veterans preference employer.
Nate Bell with Universal Insurance Agency, a division of GTA Insurance Group, looks forward to continuing to grow and serve you with the same great service and smiles. They would like to thank the community of Broken Bow for continuously supporting them over the years. They care deeply for the community as their roots are planted strong right here. Universal Insurance, located on Southeast Street in Broken Bow. Contact them at 872-6438 or check them out at gtagroup.com.
Thank you. That is one spooky ghost. Have you noticed the ghost?
Yeah, the decoration here in the breakfast show room has moved into the Halloween season.
Yeah, that's kind of creepy. Hope it doesn't scare the guests away. Usually they're very comfortable in this room.
I don't recall ever having that before. Is this a new decoration?
I think so.
Did someone make that? Is that like a Kristen creation?
That could be a business. Christian Creations.
Yeah.
I bet she put it together. She does a nice job in the room here of keeping us decorated. Thank you, Christian. Brubaker's Coffee House and Gifts. Well, I bet you they have a few things centered around fall. Check out their beautiful decor to help them brighten your space. They have deep fall-colored trees, garland, flowers, and plants, artificial pumpkins in different kinds and sizes. They have fall tins for decorating, accent lighting with warm hues, wall hangings, or cute signs that touch on the season, and they do have Halloween decor. And they also want you to know they have the purses that they have on sale now, and these are Consuela, let me do that again, Consuela, inspired by artists and makers around the world. So they have many different styles and prints. They're sure to be a perfect one for you to give as a gift or for yourself. And take a look at the pictures that they put on Facebook. You can keep up to date that way or just stop in. And don't forget, Brubaker's has registries for weddings, baby showers, and a wish list for any occasion. Coffee with a friend is always a good idea, so stop in and enjoy a latte, smoothie, cappuccino, baked goods, and do some shopping. And any age is welcome to do some shopping there because they have something for everyone.
It is one of, if not the biggest day of the year at Kincaid Brewing Company. It's coming up this weekend on Saturday, October 7th, because it is Oktoberfest. It is back at Kincaid Brewing Company on Saturday, so dust off your lederhosen and join them for one of their favorite parties of the year. There will be exclusive beer, sausages, and pretzels from, and I'm going to try this, Bierhaus Maischila.
It's got to be close.
There you go. But try them out this weekend at Kincaid Brewing Company. They'll also be bringing back some of their big popular games that they've had for Oktoberfest, like Hammerschlagen, Stein Stamina. They're going to implement a new one this year. The Stein Hoist will be a new game. Also, keg throwing, cornhole, beer relay, some of the games that they'll be having during Oktoberfest at Kincaid on Saturday. And some great live music, too. Angie Kriz and the Polka Tunes will get things started at noon on Saturday, play from around noon to 3. Then the Killigans take the stage between 3:30 and 6:30. And then Them Uke Boys will conclude the music from 7 to 10, all happening on Saturday, October 7th, this weekend at Kincaidor Brewing Company in Broken Bow.
Our chat box, let's take a look. Carol dropped a note, said thank you for the coverage of the weather. You bet, Carol. Thanks for listening. And Steve Hornickel, he says, better late than never for the breakfast show. And we were late this morning. Thanks, Steve. And we received a note from Lori, 1.10 precipitation east of Westerville yesterday. Over an inch just east of Westerville yesterday. So, yes, there's varied amounts out there. Hopefully you got that without the hard stuff.
I didn't hear the station total.
Quarter inch.
Really, just a quarter inch here. Okay.
I think the airport had 3,100s. So, Quality Senior Villages in Broken Bow believes that an active life is a nurturing experience, and at their facility, residents can thrive and live an active lifestyle. Activities can bring about a feeling of sense and self-worth and well-being. And some of the daily stimulation includes physical activities, including movies, music, crafts, games, exercise, gardening, cooking, and outings in their new outdoor area. This is a specialized Alzheimer's and dementia care assisted living facility, and it's called Quality Senior Villages in Broken Bow. For more information, call them at 872-6387, 872-6387. We're going to get Jeremy in the studio to talk about tomorrow, because tomorrow is a very big day out at the Red Barn and the new sod house, so stay tuned.
crumbly toes from everybody.
Introducing Crystal Flush. Crystal Flush is the only FDA-registered 2-in-1 home treatment that attacks your toe fungus from both the inside and out. Crystal Flush's new and different combination system knocks out toe fungus for good. Guaranteed.
Crystal Flush is different. After just a few weeks, my fungus was gone. I mean, 100% disappeared. Crystal Flush was the only thing that ever worked. So if you're skeptical because you tried a bunch of other stuff, Crystal Flush is different. This is a game changer.
Crystal Flush is now available without a prescription, but it is not available in stores. Get your risk-free supply today. Go to crystalflush.com. That's CRYSTAL flush.com. Stop being embarrassed by ugly yellow toenails. Go to crystalflush.com or call 800-204-4484.
Bruce.
Bill?
How's business?
Booming.
Bountiful bushels of soybeans you're boasting.
Boatloads of bushels.
But how?
Bags of Zetavo soybean seed.
Bags of Zetavo soybean seed?
Bunches of them.
Bunches of bushels from bags, huh?
You betcha.
That's a breakthrough bean to boggle the brain.
Bill.
Bruce.
Best we give it a break.
An innovative seed packed with Enlist E3 trait technology and award-winning varieties for yields that keep growing and growing. Zetavo is seed done right. Always read and follow label directions.
9:21, and Jeremy Shipe is with us. Jeremy, good morning.
Good morning.
We are going to be talking now about tomorrow for the ribbon cutting for the sod house, the pie contest, and all the things that are going on. But Jeremy has been visiting with Rick Moss and has an update on a change, I do believe.
Yeah, Rick said, unfortunately, Karen, with the Nebraska Humanities speaker, they were expecting to have, is not going to be able to make it to do her Life of a Prairie Pioneer speaking. He just asked that everyone think about her. She's got COVID, and she's really upset she's unable to come to this event. Obviously, this has been in the planning stages for a long time, and she's really been looking forward to it. It almost kind of feels like we're back in 2020, 2021. You get really excited for something, and it starts coming up, and then all of a sudden you just can't go. So, yeah, that part will change, but everything else going to go on as planned, including the pies and the ribbon cutting and everything in between.
Yeah, it's still going to be a fun day. She was really looking forward to coming to Broken Bow. She's been here before, and she's a friend of my wife's, and she had been overseas and just got back and probably picked something up. Who knows? The airport, there, wherever, but not feeling very well and certainly doesn't want to give it to anybody else. So Karen Wyatt Dravo will not be there. Hopefully we can get her back sometime because she has a really cool story she tells that would have been nice to go along with the sod house, but that's the way it is. But everything else is still going, right?
Yep. Looks like it. And we're going to be out there in the morning, going to have a really full slate of breakfast show guests out there. We're going to find an angle to do a live stream of the video side of things for the breakfast show and have guests out there. And then you folks are invited out to drop off your entries for the pie contest starting at 10 a.m. until 3 p.m. 1 8-inch 2-crust fruit or fall pie in a disposable tin. The crust can be pie crust or cracker crust. The topping can be pie crust or crumb topping. No soft pies. And they'll be judged on overall taste and appearance. And having witnessed the judging, I filled in news-wise last year and went out to this to witness the judging last year. It's very serious.
Is it?
It's pretty serious, yeah. Yeah. So just be prepared for that when you're putting your pie together. Take this seriously. It's a real deal. And they've got the plaque on the wall that has the names of the past winners on it. You get your name on that. And the pies are then served after that for a free will donation for everyone else that wants to stop out. So come on out. The judging, let's see. It doesn't say on here, but I think the judging starts just after 3.
I think so. 3:30.
Yeah. And then the pies will be available after that. And then you can enjoy some pie. Check out the sod house until they have the ribbon cutting at 5:30. It'll be a lot of fun.
It will be. Special day because that sod house, along with the Red Barn, are going to be quite an attraction over the years, and more people are going to be stopping at the tourist site there, San El Scenic Byway folks. Congratulations. Our own news director, our new news director, has agreed to enter our pie for us tomorrow. And I don't want to give it away what pie she's going to be putting in the competition. But I will tell you, from the pie she brought in, she's going to be right in the running if her crust turns out like it did on the one she brought in.
That was very good.
Very good. And she is going to be entering, and of course we want to whip the chief.
Okay. Who's judging that contest?
Well, it can't be Donis. I guess they'll probably let the judges.
Just the judges of the regular pie contest will judge.
It's a little side contest.
That as well.
Cool.
Yeah, Mona's making the pie for the chief. And Christy doesn't make pies very often, so she was more than happy to let Summer give it a shot. And I think this pie that Summer brought in was maybe the first pie she's ever made. It was delicious.
It really was, yes. It was very good.
The three of us should have a pie contest between the three of us. Wouldn't that be fun?
I just pour some chocolate pudding in a pan and put whipped cream on it.
Now, that's a soft pie, Dave. That's not allowed.
Well, I'm bidding for next year having soft pie category. I mean,
now that, you know who makes it, I think it's considered a soft pie, is Mr. Apperson's wife.
Shelley makes a soft pie.
Oh,
the one I had at your two daughters' graduation.
Did you have the Snickers pie?
Yes.
Oh,
yeah, it is pretty good. I will say.
The one, I don't dream often, but when I dream, that pie makes its way into my dreams. You just let Shelley know that.
The pie of dreams.
Oh man, it's so good.
Wow.
I'm not a big sweets guy, but I think I ate half of one of those pies at that grad party. I felt bad.
Yeah, they don't last long at the house when she makes one.
Well, there's just an example. If you had a soft pie competition, it wouldn't just be chocolate pies with whipped cream on them. That you'd get all kinds of soft pies.
Yeah. What I think I'm hearing is an idea to include in our KCNI 75th anniversary celebrations for next year. Maybe we could do a soft pie competition.
Oh, wow.
We'd have to get a refrigerator.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, our dorm fridge won't really work well for that.
It might hold 2 pies.
Yeah, 2 pies.
That would be about it.
See, Christy kind of alludes to the fact that you can't put much in that little fridge we have.
I think that's why you like it, right? Have you said that in the past?
Yes, because we had a big fridge in the kitchen in the trailer house, and I happened to be the one who got to clean it out the last time. There were things in there that had been in there for many years.
Yeah, they were growing.
People would leave their leftovers in there and then never take them out.
Just do what they do at large employment places. They put a note on the front of the fridge, and it says, "We're cleaning the fridge out on this day. If you do not have your stuff out, consider it thrown away."
Yep.
And at a previous place that I worked, that included lunch boxes, freezer packs, nice Tupperware. They just went up with a big trash can, and they just went threw it all away. You had your opportunity. You knew for 10 days that they were going to do it. That might be the key.
That's what we did at when I worked for the railroad at Bailey Yard in North Platte. That's the way we did it. You'd put a sign up and say, here's clean out the fridge day and freezer.
Yep.
And if anything was in it, it was thrown away.
Yep.
I think that would work, except for if you threw Christie's Tupperware container away, you deal with it.
Maybe we could have like a safe zone or something.
But
you move what you want to keep in there to the safe zone.
But knowing Christy the way I do, I don't think you would ever have to worry about that.
No, probably
That's
not.
true. She is the fridge police.
In fact, I think Christy would be more than willing to volunteer to be the one to clean out the fridge and throw stuff away.
She might. Now, I will say...
Oh, man, I can see it now on her email signature. Sales executive, fridge police.
She'd be really good at it.
She'd do great at it.
I'm with you there.
Question is, where would we put a big fridge? Right in here.
We could just run an extension cord and put it out front.
Oh, it would fit in the boardroom. Is that what we call that? Is it the boardroom or the meeting room? They're in the corner.
I kind of hate to do that.
Well,
that would kind of, I don't know.
It would look a little tacky in the boardroom.
There's not room in that storage room out back. We might be able to put it out in the generator shack.
Oh, there's an idea.
Plug it in out there. Now, that's if the generator works today, if we have electricity.
Oh, yeah, I forgot we're doing that.
I didn't sleep too good last night thinking about that test, plus the nationwide emergency alert system test is at 1:20 today.
Yeah, just good idea to be kind of aware of where you're at during that time. You know, if you're definitely in a situation where you can't be having your phone going off.
Yeah.
That's the way to... Oh, hi, Christy.
Hi, Christy. How you doing?
Come on in.
She's looking
Oh, boy,
in
she
like,
wants to... Oh, man, here we go.
I like that sweater. That's so cool.
Hello.
That is a nice sweater, yeah.
Can I just say that I am the one that cleans the fridge out of food?
Oh, that's what we said. That's what we said. Yeah, we give you credit.
I'm on delay back there, and you guys are dogging on me about.
No, that's how
Christy, let that go.
The discussion ended by us saying that you would be very good at it because you already are, and we appreciate.
And can I just say, one of the worst does not work here anymore.
That's true.
So.
What do you mean, one of the worst?
I was going to bring that up. The sink is not nearly as sticky as it was.
Yeah.
Because Shannon will eat.
There's a poor fridge somewhere in Colorado that's just screaming for mercy.
Yes, about every Friday I'd be like, Shannon, we done with this and this, and so. But it does need defrosted, and I was the one that defrosted it during COVID. So.
That freezer, something about it. It just, it gets a chunk of ice in there.
Defrost.
Yeah. I bet it is. It's a little packed in there, isn't it? Yeah. When are you going to do that?
I don't know.
When you turn off the generator, when you turn off the power later today, that's a good opportunity to start it. When you cut the power later.
When the power doesn't come back on, it'll defrost.
Yeah.
Thanks, Christy.
Bye, Christy.
Oh, that's her second trip in today. First one was she was a little riled up, too.
You guys are on one today.
Yeah, I guess. Well, is there anything else, guys? Tomorrow we'll be broadcasting live from the Saudi, from the Red Barn in that area. Guess we'll maybe run out there today and see what we can figure out.
Yeah, and, you know, I think the number one thing that people should know when they go out there is just the amount of volunteer hours that went into that sod house.
Mm-hmm.
And having gone out there for about 6-7 hours just that one day that they were working on it, I have a whole new appreciation for the pioneers that built those without any modern equipment and got those blocks up in the air, and it just blows my mind. And I have a new appreciation for that sod house as it sits there right now and all the hours that went into it. So if you can, swing out tomorrow sometime, folks, and check that out. Otherwise, it's not going anywhere. It'll be there for you to be outside. Even if the Red Barn is closed, you can walk up that hill and check it out.
Yeah, a lot of people exercise up that hill. Rick says a lot of people just use that for their exercise place, which is great. They'll put furniture in it next spring. There won't be any furniture in it now because they're closing things up this time of year. But should be a fun day. And, I mean, how can you go wrong eating pies?
No.
I hope that folks will bring lots of good pies to eat, and they raise a lot of money because it's also a fundraiser, and it's one of the things they do to kind of resupply the money that they need to run everything. So,
yep.
All right, guys. Thanks a lot. Expect the national test at 1:20, and then the power to go out a little after 2.
At least here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not around town. Just here when we test the generator. I think it'll be all right, but I'm not going to make any guarantees after this morning. Anything's possible. We had a little dead air this morning, Jeremy.
Uh-oh.
Thanks to one of our callers, we discovered it.
Who's just hanging out?
Well, I think sometimes people when news is running and pre-recorded things are running, you can leave the room to do something else. And I was across the way recording some things, and Brent was over here putting things together. And right after the weather, it stopped. And fortunately, we got a call and said, "Hey, you're not on." And it was a human boo-boo, but maybe.
Yeah, it could have been a human factor.
Yeah, so nothing to worry about technically.
Okay.
But what you're going to do with this staff, I don't know. Including yours truly. I don't really know what happened. We'll take a 60-second timeout, then we'll close the show. Have a good one, folks, and we'll be broadcasting live tomorrow from the Red Barn and the Saudi, starting at 7:30.
When we told growers that Bayer Premium Trifold herbicide for corn delivers visibly clean fields for up to